Beyond wine, we really care about health. The health of the planet and the health of each other. That's what inspired us to start this business. Our family of team members meets every morning for a group meditation, followed by an open gratitude session. We believe a sound mind with a focus on peace is the best instrument for change. Joint meditation is the cornerstone of our company culture, and it helps us remember what's important, spreading joy and love, just like our family growers. Our family is a collection of passionate, health-conscious individuals who love to laugh and enjoy each other's company. We eat seasonally, grow our own vegetables, cook together, and share wine. Our team is incredibly dedicated to our mission. Everything from sourcing the wines to answering service questions. Your natural wines were found and sourced around the world by our wine team. They taste every one, oversee their lab testing, and choose exactly which ones go in which box. If you order, your individual box will be packed by our incredibly hardworking fulfillment team. If you have any questions, your service requests will be handled by a wonderfully loving member experience family who only have one goal in mind, your 100% happiness. This video is put together by our talented media team, filmed and edited in-house, just like the rest of our artful media. From our unique creations to our printed lifestyle piece called A Matter of Taste. We put love into everything we do, and we hope to share it with you.
How come there are people who drink a pint of whiskey a day for 20, 30 years, and at the end of it only 20 or 30% become cirrhotic? What happened to the others? And we speculated, we hypothesized, it's the enzyme, alcoholic dehydrogenase made by the stomach. Maybe it's different, maybe it's genes, maybe it's polymorphism. The answer appears to be coffee. If you drink that much alcohol and drink 1 cup of regular coffee a day, 20% reduction in alcoholic cirrhosis risk, 2 cups 40%, 4 cups 80%. It's not a license to drink heavily and drink coffee and protect your liver. You could still get Korsakoff psychosis, cardiomyopathy, pancreatitis, kill people on the road, ruin your marriage, but it does protect the liver. It's pretty amazing.
Good afternoon. Happy Saturday. You're listening to the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. I'm your host, Dr. Aaron Ernst. And yes, it's a show where pounds are shed, disease is dead, and we have a new camera. Look at that. Sorry, I get excited with technology. Yes, it's the show where pounds are shed, disease is dead, and where you can be set free from your health conditions. We have an incredible topic today. How incredible. Ready for this? The top 10 most Googled health questions and the real functional answers to them. Woo! We're going to have a lot of fun today. Hey, if you're new to our show, head on over to facebook.com/AskDrErnst. That's AskDrErnst. You can also use that on YouTube, youtube.com/AskDrErnst, or the website Ask Dr. Ernst, or Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Parler, True Social. If it has a slash, put an Ask Dr. Ernst at the end of it, and bam, you get instant access to all kinds of fun information. So if you're new again, welcome. We are, I think, ushering in our 10th year, if I remember right, somewhere in that range of being on the airways and on the, what would you call that, the streaming ways? Yeah. That camera right there is now rock star. See how it follows my body? And when we have guests, it'll bounce back and forth. And it's going 4K live streaming now. How cool is that? So you can like zoom all the way in and see everything. What are the top, well, let's go at least 10. I'm going to say 11 because you're going to love number 11. But what are the top health questions being Googled today? I'm going to slowly scroll. Let's see if we can do this. So the top health questions. Oh, it's trying to find my face. Sorry, guys. And give it a second. Coming back. There it goes. Boom. Okay. COVID is the number one most top health searched question in the United States. Makes sense. Number 2, vaccine. Number 3, COVID, but now spelled coronavirus. So I'm going to lump them together. COVID and coronavirus is the number one most searched health word in the U.S. right now. Then it goes diabetes. Then it's CVS for some reason, and we'll talk about why I think it's that. But CVS, man, they're super high on the health search today. Then it is diarrhea. We'll talk about it. Arthritis, thyroid, HIV, constipation, and watch this. The top number 11 most searched health word in the United States today, chiropractor. How amazing is that? We, as chiropractors, are above CDC guidelines, herpes, UTIs, pneumonia, gallbladder, MyChart, anemia, and low back pain. How fun! Okay, so functional answers to Google's top health questions. That's our topic for the day. And I'm going to come at you with all kinds of controversial stuff. Who likes controversy? Let's see. Who's on the cameras right now? I want thumbs up. I want hearts. I want emojis. I want to see who likes to talk about controversial stuff, okay? And I'm talking like, woo, we're really going to go there? Well, Google's going there with the top 10, COVID and vaccines. So let's spend some time on that. Then we'll talk about CVS and diarrhea, arthritis, thyroid, HIV, constipation, because those are the top searched ones. All right, what's going on in the world with COVID today? Well, on March 14th, which was just a few days ago, this got published. Pfizer CEO says the 4th dose of the COVID vaccine is now necessary. Notice the air quotes. We got to talk about what air quotes mean. By them submitting information to the FDA. So Pfizer, who made billions upon billions upon billions of dollars in just 3 months, the last report I saw was upwards in the 34 billion mark. Guys, that's a lot of money, just so you know. Like a lot. Like an extremely large amount of money. And that's just Pfizer. Then you have Moderna and AstraZeneca and everybody else. But listen, Pfizer CEO says that they're submitting to the Food and Drug Administration the requirement for a 4th dose to be needed. And it says while the shot is currently produced by the BioNTech, which is just a company, it still protects supposedly against COVID. So listen to this quote. Right now, the way we have seen things, it's necessary for a 4th booster. The protection you're getting from the 3rd is good, but there's still hospitalizations and deaths, and it's not good enough, says Pfizer's CEO Albert Bourla, or however you pronounce his last name. He had an interview last Sunday on Face the Nation, and he said that, quoted. And I started thinking, okay, hold up. Really? We need a 4th one? Or is this just because there's big money in this? All right, so let's take a look and see some of the stuff that's going on behind the scenes, all right? How many of you saw this? And if you're listening to the airways, okay, I can only read it to you. But if you're on our live streams, you got to look. This. You guys see this? All right, it says the British Medical Journal published in December of 2021. That's not that long ago. The title says COVID-19, researchers blow the whistle on the data integrity issued in the Pfizer vaccine trial. Wait a second. This is published November 2nd, 2021, British Medical Journal. Listen to what it says. Revelations of poor practices at the contract research company that helped to carry out Pfizer's pivotal COVID-19 vaccine trial raises questions about data integrity. In the autumn of 2020, Pfizer's chairman and chief executive officer, Albert Bourla, who's also the CEO, as you guys know, released an open letter to billions of people around the world, which said, quote, as I've said before, we are operating at the speed of science. Now, you have to understand, the speed of science means sometimes you don't do everything you need to do. Researchers who were testing the vaccine at several sites in Texas during the autumn of 2020 found that some of the data was falsified. Some of the blinded studies were unblind. Some people were employed inadequately as vaccinators, and they were very slow to follow up on the adverse effects reported in the phase 3 trial. Right now, Pfizer is under investigation, and the powers to be in the United States forced this report to be released. I'm holding it. It's 39 pages. It says 5.3.6, the cumulative analysis of post-authorized adverse effects of BNT 162B2. And you might be like, is that a Star Wars robot? Right? No. BNT 162B2 is the code name for Pfizer's COVID vaccine. So the cumulative analysis of post-authorized adverse effect reports of BNT 162B2, I'm not making this up, take screenshots, there it is, shows 9 pages of adverse effects that can happen from the COVID vaccine. And guys, the font is so small, it's 9 pages of this. Listen to this, all right? You could end up with acute kidney injury. You could end up with alopecia, your hair falls out. You could end up with anti-HLA antibody positive tests. That's an autoimmune disease. You could end up with axillary venous thrombosis, clots in your armpit. You could end up with catheter site thrombosis. So a thrombosis is, again, a clot. And if you have a catheter in you, you could have a clot in the catheter. Ugh. Okay, death. And I'm not making this up. Death of neonatal, death of adults, death of children. That seems pretty direct. Deep venous thrombosis. Again, clots. Here's a unique one, stiff person syndrome. I wonder what that means. Maybe it means that you just stop moving. Hepatic vascular resistance increased. Your blood flow to your liver is not working properly. That's what that translates to. Interstitial lung disease. Laryngeal edema, laryngeal rheumatoid arthritis. Guys, that's just the L's. Microscopic polyangiitis, myocarditis, myocardial infarction, a heart attack, whatever, non-infective encephalitis, not good. Peripheral venous thrombosis, post-procedural pneumococcal disease. What does that mean? You could get pneumonia, proctitis, herpes. That's a viral infection that makes the prostate swell up. Scleroderma, secondary cerebellar degeneration. You should go, wait, what? My brain's going to decay? Could. And we're in the S's. Let's keep going. Tumor embolism. Yikes. If you have cancer and you get the vaccine, you might actually have your tumor embolized, which means it rolls all around your body and clots. Vascular glomerular nephritis. Your kidney shut down. Venous thrombosis of your limbs. You get clots in your arms and legs. Oof. Seventh nerve paralysis. Yikes. That's the cranial nerve that controls hearing and facial functions. Warm type hemolytic anemia. Zika infection. And lastly, Guillain-Barré syndrome. Paralysis of your entire body, usually lower extremities. Starts in your feet and works its way up. And my God, there's like 1,700 adverse effects. So yes, Pfizer CEO executive, we would love to take a 4th dose. I don't think so. How many of you online are like, no way, I'm stopping after 3? Well, guess what, guys? All right, we've got whistleblowers out there saying that don't do it. We have a German study that has been yanked from the internet that says, listen to this, fully vaccinated individuals, and again, note the air quotes because they don't know what that really is. Okay, right now it's 3, but Pfizer wants it to be 4. Why? They'll make another $34 billion with the extra injection required. And listen to this. According to this German study that was published on December 30th of 2021, fully vaccinated people will have COVID-19 vaccine-induced acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. Whew, that's a huge word. You remember AIDS? That's acquired immunodeficiency syndrome brought on by the HIV infection. It was lethal. And today, We have drugs that can be taken to decrease the viral load of HIV and help to stop the suppression of the immune system. And if you know someone with AIDS, they're on a lifetime supply of medications. And for good reason, they can stay alive. Back in the 90s and 80s, man, people were dying left and right from AIDS. So now we have something called VAIDS, vaccine-induced acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. You need to look into this. Oh, and don't go to Google and try to type in VAIDS, because guess what? It's censored like you can't imagine. You need to use DuckDuckGo or some sort of like a non-censored search engine. But listen to this. Fully vaccinated individuals will have full-blown COVID-19 vaccine-induced acquired immunodeficiency syndrome by the end of January of 2022. We're well past that. After confirming that the immune system of fully vaccinated people have already degraded to an average of -87. I don't know about you, but -87 doesn't sound good. How about this one? Gates, Fauci, and others are being charged with genocide for good reason. During a 46-page legal filing at the International Criminal Courts on December 6th of 2021, attorneys and 7 applicants have accused Fauci, Peter Dansk, Melinda Gates, William Gates III, and 12 other people, including George Soros and other names that I'm probably going to be kicked off the station for saying, crimes against humanity and crimes against those as defined by the Rome Statutes Article 6, 7, 8, 15, 21, and 53. If you want to read this, it's way too long for me to share today. Go to DuckDuckGo and type in Gates, Fauci, and Dansk charged with genocide in court filing. Boom! And guys, they have all the videos. They have the hearings. They have everything right there in front of you, but not on Google. I dug this up. This is a published article. Listen to this. Medical News Today. Vaccine-acquired immune deficiency syndrome, VAIDS. We should anticipate seeing this immune erosion more widely. Wait a minute. You're saying that if I got the shots, I might have AIDS? Yes, but not HIV-induced, vaccine-induced. Listen to some of the quotes from this. If immune erosion occurs after the second dose within just a few months, how can we exclude the possibility of the effects that further untested boosters won't exaggerate and rapidly degrade the immune system? Hello, Pfizer, saying 4th vaccine required on when? March 14th of this year, right? That was a couple days ago, guys. A Lancet study compared vaccinated and unvaccinated people in Sweden, which conducted amongst 1.6 million individuals over 9 months. This is not a small study. It showed the protection against symptomatic COVID-19 declined with time, listen up, such that by 6 months, some of the more vulnerable vaccinated groups were at greater risk than their unvaccinated peers. That is exactly the opposite you're being told, right? They're blaming all the COVID stuff on the unvaccinated people spreading the disease, being fearmongers, etc. Doctors are calling this phenomenon repeated vaccine immune erosion or acquired immune deficiency, AIDS, accounting for elevated incidence of myocarditis and other post-vaccine illnesses that affect them more rapidly, resulting in death or more slowly chronic disease. Who gets it? The vaccinated people. Oh, okay, let's start to shed some light. Well, this was a study done that said your likelihood of dying from COVID is near 0 if your vitamin D is simply above 50. 50. Most people I test, 20, 30, 35, 40, 45. Guess what the normal is for medicine? You just got to be over 30. So you might say, aren't I protected? I just left my doctor's office. I can't say anything about that. I can tell you that when we come back from our next commercial break, we're going to talk about how we boost our immune systems, how we turned our bodies into their own vaccine. So stick around for that. But I can share with you, it says directly, COVID-19 mortality correlates inversely, which means high D, low death rates, and mortality can be 0, theoretically, if you achieve 50 nanograms per milliliters of vitamin D3. Boom! Stronger than a vaccine. Watch this. Lactate dehydrogenase as a level of COVID-19 severity. Wait a minute. What does that mean? Well, this liver enzyme will tell you how bad your body will be when COVID goes into it. The research suggests that lactate dehydrogenase increases in the early stages of mitochondrial function as well as hemolysis or blood cell death. In liver patients or those with kidney, heart, lung, and brain disease, lactate dehydrogenase is elevated. Normal is somewhere around 150 to 160. Elevated is above 225. And if you have really high levels of lactate dehydrogenase before you get infected, this study says you can determine how bad your infection will be. Look at the data. And I'm going to just hold this up. And again, you're going to have to go investigate it yourself. This graph of data shows the higher your lactate dehydrogenase, the more likely you are to have a problem when COVID enters your body. This article says the lower your vitamin D, the more likely you are to have an issue with COVID entering your body. This article says if you're vaccinated beyond 2 or 3 doses, you will have VAIDS in the not too distant future. It's going to be a brand new disease. And guess who's going to come out with a drug to fix VAIDS that you'll have to take for the rest of your life? Pfizer, because they know this and they want you to get now a 4th one. You guys should run from the hills. Sorry, my passion's coming out. Why? You're being lied to. You're literally being lied to right in front of your face. And many of you are just like lemmings going and just rolling your sleeves up. Oh, protect me. It doesn't work. Even the research says it doesn't work. But it makes a lot of money. And I'm talking a lot. And a lot. So what can you do, all right, right now? You know, you guys, look, I just left a webinar this morning. It was phenomenal. 280 people in Charlotte online watching us talk about how to fix their thyroids. So I am going to do something special. I'm going to send out a replay of a seminar that I hosted called 3 Steps to Heal Yourself. It's yours for free, all right? It's about an hour long. And you're going to learn the 3 steps to protect you against these top 10. COVID, vaccines, diabetes, diarrhea, arthritis, thyroid, HIV, constipation. What are these things, guys? These are the top 10 most searched things people need help with. And you have the answer right in front of you with this video. I go over the 3 steps to fix all disease. And that includes your thyroid, which we just did today. If you missed it, text right now, 704-906-2094. I'll send you the replay. Again, it's an hour and a half. And if you have constipation, HIV, arthritis, or diarrhea, or diabetes, I'll send you my 3 Steps to Heal webinar. It's free, and it'll show you exactly what you need to test, exactly what you need to do. You just need to pick up the phone and take action. Call the number. My call lines are open, 704-906-2094. Or better yet, text us right now. 704-906-2094. And I'm going to throw a little blanket message out. Do not, for the love of God, send over a text that says this, free webinar, and just hit send. We have no clue what your name is, and we have no idea how to send it to you. You must send us your name and your email. Like literally, Barry Jones, barry.jones@gmail.com, hit send. Your phone number comes through automatically. So do that for us right now. Look at all these people texting over. I love it. 704-906-2094. Again, the number 704-906-2094. Once again, the number 704-906-2094. Call it, text it, and when we come back, how to boost your immune system beyond even what a medication can do. 200% elevation. We're going to share the tips and techniques that I use daily so that my body is its own vaccine, and I don't have to worry about these top 10, COVID, coronavirus, diabetes, CVS, diarrhea, you name it. Hey, it's the Ask Dr. Ernst Show. We'll be right back.
Would you like to experience a better night's sleep? Want to feel well rested and ready for your day? Discover an amazing solution with Celliant Sleep Recovery. Our Celliant Sleep Recovery products are made from a patented yarn embedded with a blend of 13 infrared active minerals. Celliant technology never washes out. The benefits will last for their entire lifespan. Minerals reflect the body's own energy by using Celliant infrared active technology, boosting your oxygen levels and improving circulation to reach REM sleep gracefully. Our customers love to comfortably sleep throughout the night because of Celliant. We've conducted 9 independent clinical studies by well-respected scientific institutions and universities that prove the many positive effects Celliant has on the body. Our technology is designed to help you achieve a refreshing sleep recovery. Experience the foundation your body deserves. Start waking up refreshed and always ready for the day ahead. It's time to achieve the best sleep of your life to unlock your hidden potential. Start experiencing a better night's sleep with our Celliant sleep recovery products today. Celliant. Recycle your body's energy.
Hi, my name is Gary Greenfield with Greenfield Water Solutions, and I want to introduce you to our newest product, the MR500. It's a whole house structured water filter system. It's set up in an all stainless steel multi-round filter housing. It features inlet and outlet for the water, a bleeder valve for when you're changing out the filters to reduce pressure, and to remove the top for access to the filters, we simply open up the clamp, remove the top, and this plate here holds all the filters in place. Simple to remove. It comes out, and you can see what we have on the inside here. It's 5 Aquamedics filters and a vortexing tube and a harmonizer. That's the whole system. This is designed to filter 5 gallons per minute, and all of the contaminants that it does remove are listed on the website, which is a very broad array of contaminants. These are the highest rated filters that I know of on the market that are filter cartridges. They can be changed out yearly, and of course the process is very simple. You won't have to hire a plumber to do a change out, and the filters are available from Greenfield Water Solutions. And if you want to know more about this, you can read about it on the product page or give us a call. Thanks for watching. That's it for now from Greenfield Water Solutions.
What if we told you coffee was good for you?
Coffee is the single highest source of antioxidants in the Western diet. More antioxidants than kale, more antioxidants than 70% dark chocolate, and more antioxidants than blueberries.
In fact, what if we told you that coffee is really good for you?
Research shows that 3 to 5 cups of coffee per day dramatically enhances performance in high-intensity exercise, improves memory, reaction times, and overall cognitive function, decreases risk of depression, promotes weight loss by boosting metabolic rates, reduces risk of type 2 diabetes up to 40%, decreases risk of liver cancer up to 71%, reduces risk of Parkinson's up to 30%, and decreases risk of Alzheimer's up to 65%. Overall, coffee drinkers live longer. People who drink 3 to 5 cups of coffee per day have about a 15% lower risk of premature mortality compared to people who don't drink coffee.
And what if we told you that the health benefits of coffee could actually be increased through conscious roasting, sourcing, and processing? Introducing Purity, a health-conscious coffee company. At Purity, we've brought together a world-class team to analyze every step in the production chain from cherry to cup. We make decisions with only one thing in mind: how can we make the healthiest coffee in the world? Here's our 3-step process. Step 1, we search the world for the highest quality organic green beans that meet our exacting standards. Way less than 1% of coffee worldwide fit our sourcing criteria. Step 2, we test, and test again to create a specific roasting protocol for each harvest that maximizes healthy compounds and minimizes toxins. Step 3, we nitrogen pack our coffee within 48 hours of roasting and deliver to your door every 2 weeks to ensure maximum freshness. The result is the ultimate coffee drinking experience. You'll not only taste the difference in our clean, healthy coffee, with Purity, you'll feel the difference.
Our coffee club members report a bright, alert lift with less jitters than regular coffee and much more gentle on the stomach.
Sign up for Purity today, and you'll never have to worry about your source for healthy coffee again.
Beyond wine, we really care about health, the health of the planet and the health of each other. That's what inspired us to start this business. Our family of team members meets every morning for a group meditation, followed by an open gratitude session. We believe a sound mind with a focus on peace is the best instrument for change. Joint meditation is the cornerstone of our company culture, and it helps us remember what's important, spreading joy and love, just like our family growers. Our family is a collection of passionate, health-conscious individuals who love to laugh and enjoy each other's company. We eat seasonally, grow our own vegetables, cook together, and share wine. Our team is incredibly dedicated to our mission. Everything from sourcing the wines to answering service questions, your natural wines were found and sourced around the world by our wine team. They taste every one, oversee their lab testing, and choose exactly which ones go in which box. If you order, your individual box will be packed by our incredibly hardworking fulfillment team. If you have any questions, your service requests will be handled by our wonderfully loving member experience family, who only have one goal in mind, your 100% happiness. This video is put together by our talented media team, filmed and edited in-house, just like the rest of our artful media. From our unique creations to our printed lifestyle piece called A Matter of Taste. We put love into everything we do, and we hope to share it with you.
Hey, welcome back. You're listening to the Ask Dr. Ernst show. I'm your host, Dr. Aaron Ernst, and we are having a ton of fun today. Man, I'm letting everything hang out. This show is either going to be the greatest show ever, shared more than anything, listened to more than anything, or it's going to get me kicked off. Sorry. Why? It's so controversial, isn't it? The top 10 most searched Googled health questions answered from a functional, holistic perspective. What are those top 10? Well, here's the report. We just pulled this and generated this using our Google Analytics device, and it's the top searched health phrases. Number 1, COVID. That makes sense. Number 2, vaccine. That makes sense. Number 3, coronavirus. In case you didn't know it was the same thing as COVID, makes sense. Then it's diabetes. Woo, we got to talk about diabetes. Then it's CVS. What? Okay, hold up. I think CVS is making the top 5 because what does CVS do? They have rapid tests for COVID. They have free stuff for COVID. You know, if you're going to get a test like a rapid screen or something, most people go to CVS and they drive right up and then bam, you know, in their nose, right? All right. Then it's diarrhea. Then it's arthritis. Then it's thyroid issues. And today we just crushed that one. Like if you're looking for help with your thyroid and you were not on our webinar today, 280-something plus charlatarians listened to me live at 10 a.m. this morning, and we knocked it out of the park. So if you have a thyroid issue, I'm imploring you right now, call this number, 704-906-2094, or text your name and email. You get the free replay of the event. It's at no cost. You get my thyroid report, which is going to basically be 15 pages of how to fix your thyroid. And you can rewatch the event that happened today. And if you have an issue with arthritis, listen, that's an inflammatory condition, which is almost always dietarily driven. There's something called reactive arthritis. I want you to Google this or DuckDuckGo it. Reactive arthritis. What it stands for is your body responds to what you've been eating in a way that causes inflammation and disease and decay. And so what you need to understand is you are in control of your arthritis. Well, Dr. Ernst, I was told that, mine's genetic. Nah. Unless you were born with it as an infant and you came out all crooked with your fingers and your hands and your toes, no, arthritis is acquired. It is an acquired degenerative disease, which means you can unacquire it. You can actually get rid of arthritis. What? Yes, you can. All right, diarrhea. Well, listen, I'm going to just share this with you just for a moment. The human body doesn't just open the floodgates downstairs for no good reason. There's either a virus infected in your colon, there's either a parasite, overgrown bacteria, or there's something living in your gut that needs to come out. So think about how do you rinse something out really well? You liquefy and you let it go. That's what diarrhea is. Okay? It can also be because of you eating stuff you're sensitive to. Foods that are irritating to the colon can make it say, I got to get this out like fast. All right? The more toxic your bowels and your waste, the more diarrhea you will have. Now, is this the answer you're going to find on Google? No. These are the functional answers. These are the real answers, guys. Why does this really, really, truly happen? Because you're toxic. If you need something to come out and it's entering into your bowel systems, which is a part of phase 2 detoxification of the liver, your liver will take toxins that are fat soluble, make them water soluble so you can urinate them out. There's your kidneys, there's your urine. But if it's a molecule that can't be made water soluble, I had to think for a second, sorry about that. Made water soluble, what happens is it binds to bile and cholesterol. It's a fat soluble toxin. And the cholesterol and the bile go and they go into your intestines around the duodenum, which is part of your small intestine. That gunk rolls through your small intestines and is detected as an irritant. So you'll be like, my stomach doesn't feel very good. And then as soon as it hits the colon's like, whoa, we need this out. So instead of slow motility and absorbing liquid, it's like flush the house. Whoosh. So it all comes out. It can also be an issue with your nerve system. So there is something called the enteric nerve system, which controls your bowels. And if your enteric nerve system is irritated, you can have diarrhea. If it's irritated, you can even have constipation, which is the number 10 Googled question. Okay, number 1, COVID. Did we talk about that? We just spent 21 minutes talking about COVID, its ridiculousness, and how you can control what happens to your body with COVID. Number 2, vaccine. We just spent 21 minutes talking about the ridiculousness of that and how there's a recent court document required to be released by Pfizer, which shows over 1,600 potential adverse reactions. I don't have time to list them, but oh my gosh, it's so long, guys. Look at this. Look at how long the side effects are. It's literally more than anything you've ever seen ever. And I'm just trying to keep it light for you guys. Number 3 was coronavirus, but that's the same as number 1, so we talked about that. Number 4, diabetes. Listen, if you have diabetes, I'm here to tell you a secret. It's autoimmune. There is a high likelihood they're now saying diabetes is actually an autoimmune disease, and instead of insulin not working, it's the receptor has been attacked, and the receptor is mutated, and insulin's like, I can't get on there. How do they know this to be true? Does a type 2 diabetic have high or low insulin? Where's the Jeopardy music? Can we somehow cue that? Do, 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 do. It is excruciatingly high. So wait a second. Type 2 diabetics have really high insulin, which means their sugar should be really low because insulin pushes sugar into the cell. So how is it possible that they have high insulin and high blood sugar? And how is it possible you didn't know this? Because they never test. Doctors never test insulin. Ever. Because it would break their model. Well, doctor, explain this to me. Doesn't insulin push sugar into the cell? Mm-hmm, it certainly does. Then can you explain why my insulin is literally like 17 times higher than it should be? I cannot. Okay, so what am I supposed to do about this? Shut up and take your meds. Like, you guys understand. They truly don't understand this. And it's not their fault. They're not trained properly. They manage disease. MDs manage disease. You need to see an RD, a reverser of disease. You need to see a real doctor. You need to go to you. Or you need to get some coaching. Look, I had a patient say to me once, Dr. Ernst, I think your program is revolutionary. And I'm like, thank you. And he goes, but here's the thing. You're not actually really doctoring us the way that I would expect. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? And he goes, it's really like you're like a coach. You're teaching me what I should have known and showing me how to fix myself. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. He goes, that's like an advisor. And he goes, are you okay if I call you my health advisor? I'm like, rock on, man. Let's do it. I'll be your health advisor. I'll advise you how to get healthy. And he goes, yeah, I have a financial advisor. I have a business advisor. I have a marriage advisor, a counselor. He goes, I got all these advisors in my life that I pay to help me be successful. Now, I'm not going to say who this person is, but they're quite wealthy. They own several companies in the Charlotte area. If I said his name, you would know who it is, so I'm not going to do that. Whoa, who is it? Who is it? Who is it? You're going to have to figure that out on your own. But ready? Has all these advisors, and he goes, no one was advising me on my health. I thought my doctor was doing it, but they were just prescribing me. So he's like, they were basically my drug dealers. And he goes, I don't want a drug dealer. I want a health advisor. And I'm like, giving him a high five, and I'm like, man, you have arrived. You have woken up. You recognize the truth behind your health. No one's going to do it for you. Only you can. And look at all the thumbs up, right? So apparently you guys like that. So ready? How can I advise you to fix these top 10 Googled health questions? Simple. Become your own doctor. Okay, how do we stop COVID? Ready? I'm going to show you how I did it. All right, look, I was actively in practice the entire time. We were considered an essential practice. We never closed. We never shut down. We stayed open. We followed the guidelines, right? We wore masks when they told us to. We didn't when they told us not to. Isn't that nuts? Those of you who have been around long enough during the whole COVID issues, we were actually told, do not wear a mask. Because if you wear masks, the hospitals won't have surgical masks and they can't do surgeries. Do not wear a mask. And we were like, fine. We'll do everything else. We'll sanitize and sterilize and spray. And then all of a sudden they're like, wear a mask. And we're like, what? You just said not to. And they're like, we changed our minds. Wear a mask. And so we were like, all right, we're wearing masks. And we wore masks and we followed the guidelines. And all of a sudden they're like, hey, you don't need to wear masks anymore. And we're like, what? All right, no more masks. And now they're like, everybody needs to be vaccinated. And we're like, well, I don't know about that, but we'll let people who want to do it, do it. And we followed the guidelines. And here we are today. And guess what? No masks. We're back to normal. And yet many of you are still walking around with masks on your face. Even the Mecklenburg County, our governing system of this area of Charlotte, says, hey, you don't need to wear a mask anymore when you're outside. Businesses don't need to require it, but what do they still do? People are still following the juice. This study here says if you see a chiropractor, you can boost your immune system as much as what? 200%. And listen to this. Chiropractic patients were found at the minimum to have a 200% greater immune competence than those who had never received chiropractic before. They also had a 400% greater competence than those who had had cancer or other serious diseases. Who would like to have a 200% boosted immune response? How many texts are we getting right now? Not enough. 704-906-2094. I'm giving away my free 3 Steps to Heal Yourself webinar. It's an hour long, and it'll show you how to fix all of your health issues. I'm giving away to those of you who missed the thyroid event our free thyroid webinar with a 15-page how to fix your thyroid report. And I'm sharing with you what I do to be insanely healthy. I visit a chiropractor. Those of you who watched our show last week, my chiropractor, Dr. Chris Demzar, was our special guest. He is the one responsible for giving me a 400% immune competence. What does it mean to be competent? You know what you do. Do you want your immune system to know what to do? I certainly do. 400%! Like, you can't beat this. All right, listen to this. A study that was done by Patricia Brennan, PhD, who's the lead researcher it doesn't say actually, just leads a team of researchers who conducted a study that found the immune system in her subjects following chiropractic care had significant increase. Listen to her quote. Remember, she's a PhD, so you're going to have to put on a hat for this one. Phagocytic respiratory burst of polymolecular neutrophils and their monocytes were enhanced in adults who had been seen by chiropractors. Let's digest that. Phagocytic means the eating ability of a white blood cell. Respiratory burst of polymorphonuclear neutrophils, PMNs. These are the bad boys, guys. They go around and eat cancer. They kill viruses. They destroy bacteria. A respiratory burst is an implication of this massive push of these cells. Phagocytic means they can eat tissues. Monocytes are a type of white blood cell that are present during inflammation. They were also boosted, and they were enhanced in adults who had been adjusted by chiropractors. That right there should make you say, I'm going to go to Google and find a chiropractor near me. That's what I would do. Listen to this. Life Chiropractic University, which is in Atlanta, technically Marietta, but it's in Atlanta, produced a study where Dr. Sid Williams and his research center took patients with AIDS that were HIV positive, and they adjusted them for a 6-month period of time in a study. They found that patients that were adjusted had a 46% increase in the very cells that are destroyed when someone has AIDS, CD4 cells. The measurements were taken at the patients in an independent medical clinic. So the MDs were supervising this. The control group, who had never been adjusted, did not demonstrate any dramatic increase in immune function, and in fact, they had a 7.69% decrease. So when you don't get adjusted, you lose your CD4 cells, and when you're adjusted, they go up by 46%. That alone should make you Google chiropractor near me. And if you're in the Charlotte area, ask drernst.com, and let's connect. All right? Immune system is affected by the neurological functions and the connections with the endocrine system and the autonomic nervous system. A chiropractor can improve the function of both endocrine and autonomic nerve systems by improving the movement of spinal bones that encase and protect your spinal cord. Successful conditions lead to altered measures of immune function such that there is a stimulus applied through the central nervous system, which can profoundly boost immune responses. Several results are available of both neuroendocrine and autonomic nerve systems. It's a big mouthful to say you get adjusted and your immune system is boosted. Here was the actual study. The effects of upper cervical specific adjustments on CD4 counts of HIV positive patients, published in 1994. Go get it. Read it. Listen to this. There's the one about 1994 when Life Chiropractic did this with the CD4 patients. So if you know someone who has AIDS, they should be adjusted. Why did I bring this up? Well, let's see if you guys can put two and two together. If you've been around since the beginning of the show, what are they now saying happens to our vaccinated individuals? VAIDS, a deficiency of your immune system and a destruction of your CD4 cells because you were vaccinated. Guys, this is going to be what you're going to see in the not too distant future. There's going to be this massive epidemic of VAIDS with non-HIV positive people, and it's going to make everybody scratch their heads. And you're going to go back to this podcast in 5 years and go, hey, there was this doctor in Charlotte talking about this before anybody else did. Look at this. A published study, the effects induced by spinal manipulative therapies, aka chiropractic, on the immune system and the endocrine systems. I'm going to go straight to the conclusion and read this to you. I apparently didn't print the conclusion. All right, so we're going to read what it says then. The results support the idea that a spinal manipulative therapy can play a massive role of boosting a person's immune effect. Studies show, I'm sorry, I should have prepped for this, but I printed the wrong page apparently. Studies show that within just 5 minutes of being on your stomach, getting an adjustment, so laying down on your stomach, getting an adjustment can have significant lowering of cortisol levels, means you're less stressed, and it can have a reduction in people's acute low back pain, and not surprising, it lasts longer than people who didn't get adjusted. It also shows a significant difference in the amount of white blood cell production and their activity. What does that mean, guys? It means your immune system is stronger when you're adjusted. It means your cortisol levels go down when you're adjusted. It means you're less stressed. Your immune system loves you. Your body loves you. And your immune system says, I've got this. Now, if I'm walking around with an immune system that is 400% greater than the average sick person and 200% greater than the average just non-adjusted individual, and some mean bully or some cyber, war terrorist comes around and goes and injects the COVID virus into my body, here's the ultimate question. I've got a 400% immune boost and a 200% immune boost over just the average Jane. So this guy also reaches across and goes into someone else who's never been adjusted, doesn't take care of their health, has never been in ketosis, has no clue what I'm talking about, the average American. Who's going to have the effect? Will I get sick? Yes. It's a virus, guys. You're going to have a fever, a cough, a sniffle, some ringing in your ears. Maybe you lose your smell and your taste. So I'm not going to not get sick. But in 24 hours, I'm going to wake up the next day and be like, ooh, that was rough. All right. Get on with my day. The person, though, who has VADES and has a weakened immune response, they might not even make it through it. And am I making this up? No. There's a study that shows if your lactate dehydrogenase is low, which is a liver enzyme that I screen on myself every year, if it's low, you have almost no chance of having an issue with COVID. There's the study, guys. There it is right there. If your lactate dehydrogenase is between 150 and 60 or less, your likelihood of dying from COVID is near zero. Now, what does this mean? Well, lactate dehydrogenase is elevated in sick people. It's elevated in people with diabetes, heart disease, cancer. So if you have a comorbidity, do you see where I'm going with this? And you get injected, you're not going to make it. And if you have elevated vitamin D levels that are above 50, according to a study that I'm holding up right here, and again, if you're like, wait, Dr. Ernst, I'm driving the car. What study is it? You have to Google this. COVID-19 mortality risk correlates inversely with vitamin D3 status, and a mortality rate close to zero could theoretically be achieved at 50 nanograms per milliliters of vitamin D3, results of a systematic review and meta-analysis. Blech. So if you're on the airways and you're wanting to get information, Facebook.com/AskDrErnst, guys. AskDrErnst. Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, everything /AskDrErnst. The videos of our program today will be available in less than 5 minutes. You can share it, like it, and I'm going to ask all of you right now, where are you guys? There and there. I'm going to ask all of you to start hitting those thumbs and those likes, man. Share this to every single channel you can get it on. People need to hear this. The top 10 Googled health questions answered holistically, and it was a show about COVID and vaccines, which I was kind of told not to do, but I'm doing it anyway. And get this. This is your opportunity right now to connect with us. If you have a health issue and you want to literally heal yourself and become your own doctor, AskDrErnst.com. AskDrErnst.com. Top right-hand corner, it says request a free consultation. Man, I will call you myself directly. Really? Not an assistant? Nope. Me. Directly. You just have to get into my call schedule. Number 2, download our replay of today's webinar for thyroid and our exclusive 3 Steps to Heal Yourself program. 704-906-2094. I want you to text your name and your email right now, and you get those 2 for free. 704-906-2094. And if you don't like texting, you can call the call center. They're beautiful people that will pick up. You're just going to give them the same thing. Give them your name, give them your email, and then they will get everything over to you. 704-906-2094. Hey, thanks for tuning into us this Saturday. We're going to come at you every Saturday at 3 o'clock with great health information. Until next time, adios.